guys, it's Kara again. I want to share kind of an experience slash advice video with you guys today. I'm going to talk about what it's like and how to insert a tampon with a low cervix, both disposable and reusable, applicator and non-applicator. So, for starters, my experience with disposable tampons was not great. I could never figure out how to get them to fill to their fullest capacity before they started to leak. So the capacity of the tampon was just wasted. Sorry about all the noise. It's morning, so the cats are chasing each other back and forth. Anyway, so my problem was because I had a low cervix, but because I was using disposable pads like everyone else, just following what everyone else did, and I didn't have any real knowledge about my anatomy. Then you push it out with the bottom of the applicator. And that didn't work for me because it made the tampon, the applicator, when the applicator was in all the way, my cervix stops between these two knuckles, so the applicator would go past my cervix, and then I would have a tampon inserted like this, up next to my cervix. So really, it was only the very bottom of the tampon catching a little bit of bleeding, and then it would just start leaking because there wasn't any of the tampon left to absorb, because normally a tampon would be sitting here at the entrance of your cervix or a little bit lower, so it has the whole body of the tampon to soak up the fluid. But that wasn't the case, and moving on, how to prevent this from happening, you have to know the height of your cervix. If you are having trouble with tampon absorbency stuff. So if you know that you have a low cervix, you need to insert the tampon not all the way to the hilt of the applicator. You just insert it enough so that as you push the tampon out, you can pull the applicator back, and then the tampon's just sitting kind of at the entrance of your vagina. And that should work, as long as you aren't using a super long tampon brand, because there are certain disposable tampon brands that don't work for me, because even when I have been inserting them the incorrect way, all the way up past my cervix, sometimes when they started absorbing fluid, it would stretch out and still be long enough to almost hang out of my vagina, just because instead of expanding outwards, the tampon that was scrunched up the long way, so when it absorbed fluid, it stretched out, which didn't work. I mean, I have a low cervix. I can't use a longer tampon. It's sort of the same thing with non-applicator tampons, except you just don't have the applicator to make it more complicated. So non-applicator tampons are more simple. They're easier to use. So you pretty much just insert those until they aren't sticking out. And that should be good for you as long as your cervix, if your cervix is low, that should be fine for you. And if your cervix is high, you can insert it however you want. And then reusable tampons, they're just like non-applicator tampons, but you can put them in the applicator. So it applies to both situations that I just explained, except they don't expand when they absorb liquid, so there won't be that problem, though you can get them in different lengths. So if you have a low cervix, you might not want to order tampons that are very long, because you have to roll them up. So sometimes they get a little bit longer than they're described when they're sold, and whatnot. Anyway, I hope this helps someone. I was excited to be able to explain it because it's a little bit complicated, but there you go. I will see you next video.